everybody, welcome back to my channel. Mia here. Today I thought why not just make a very casual laid-back video where I can go over what I accomplished when it comes to the goals that I had previously set for 2016 during that year, and discuss the new goals that I've made myself for 2017. So grab yourself some coffee or some tea. I've got mine right here, and let's go ahead and get into what I managed to get done during 2016. So for 2016, I had set myself a few different goals. Among those goals were to collect more mangas and graphic novels, comic books, because I really wanted to get into that that genre and that type of read. So I wanted to collect more, which I think I did manage to collect quite a lot. I had subscribed to a few monthly subscriptions for comic books as well as books, and I slowly started to grow my collection. So at this point, I'm very satisfied with the amount of comic books and mangas, graphic novels that I possess. I have a lot of series that I got to read the first volume and get familiarized with what that series might be like, which some of them I loved, some of them I didn't enjoy as much. But now I do have quite a few series that I really enjoyed that I would like to read more of. So I think that's what I'm going to concentrate on now. And even if I want to pick up new reads that I've not read before, I can still do that because I still have quite a lot of mangas and graphic novels, comic books that I have not read yet that I have in my possession now. So I'm very satisfied with the outcome of that particular goal. I also wanted to grow my poetry collection, which I did, and read quite a lot of poetry, which I also did. So I'm very satisfied with that goal as well. Another goal that I had for 2016 was to read more nonfiction and to read more diversely. Now, I've always been a pretty diverse reader. I think I like to read from all kinds of different backgrounds, and I like to experience life through other people's stories. So that's something that I feel quite satisfied with when it comes to my reading. I do that quite often, if not all the time. I don't have to really plan it or think about it. I just end up picking books that tend to be diverse for the most part. So I think that went pretty smooth and pretty well during the year. And when it comes to nonfiction, I did read more than I usually do because that's the genre that I'm the least into when it comes to reading. I tend to put that aside, or I take very long reading it. However, I discovered that I do tend to like a lot of memoirs and biographies as long as they're written in a story-like format. So I did read more nonfiction than I usually do. I also found that I am quite a fan of comedy in literature. So that was very fun, very interesting. So I'm pretty pleased with that, even though I didn't read as much as I wanted to. When it comes to nonfiction, I'm pretty happy with what I did manage to read. So that was another successful goal for the year. Let's see what else. Oh, I wanted to read more, or to collect more thriller and horror and suspense kind of books, which I feel that I did a great job at that. Now I just have to concentrate on reading them, but at least I do have them available if I want to pick up something like that, which is very exciting. And what else? I started a lot of new series during 2016. And oh, I did read a lot of stuff during 2016, so we'll get into that next. Let me just take a quick sip of tea. I've had today a pretty busy day, so now I'm drinking some chamomile tea, hoping to relax so that I can read a little bit before going to bed. Just my fun routine. Now, if I look down, I'm sorry about that, I'm just looking at the notes that I wrote so that I can have the facts available for you guys. So in 2016, I read a total of 112 things. Now, out of those 112 things, 55 were graphic novels, comic books, or mangas. So, like I said, I had a great year for that genre of books. And 39 of the 112 things that I read were novels, or there's a couple of plays in there as well, and a couple of kids' books. But the majority of those 39 are actual novels. And I read 18 poetry collections. So I had a very successful year. At the beginning of the year, I had set myself, I believe, a 50 things goal for me, where I wanted to read at least 50 things during the year, 50 books or whatever. So I'm very pleased to know that I was able to double that. And even if I had set that goal just for actual novels and, you know, like thick in writing books, I still read 39, which is very good for me. Usually I don't get to read as much. So I find 2016 to be a very successful reading year. I read all kinds of things. I'm very, very happy with what I read. The majority of the reads that I had during that year were also very enjoyable. So let's see, I read 42 5-star things. I read 40 4-star reads, and 18 3-stars, 8 2-stars, and 4 1-star reads. So as you can see, the majority of the reads that I had during the year were very enjoyable reads. There were only a few that were not as enjoyable, which is fantastic. I'm very happy with that. Now, goals for 2017. I'm trying to keep it more simple this year. I'm trying to not overwhelm myself when it comes to the amount of things I read. Last year, I really wanted to push myself to read a lot. And although it was a lot of fun, it was also very stressful at times. And I found myself just very frustrated if I wasn't reading enough per month. So this year, I want to relax a little bit and just pick up what my heart desires to read and just concentrate on that so that I can fully enjoy the experience of reading each individual thing that I read this month. So I've yet again set myself a 50 books goal for 2017. I didn't want it to double up or anything like that, because last year I did have a few months where I had a lot of time to read, where this year I don't foresee that. So I'm trying to be cautious. I'm trying to not push myself too hard. So 50 is the goal that I have set when it comes to how many books I want to read in 2017. I do want to continue to read diversely. I just really like reading that way. I find that it keeps me motivated. If I pick only one specific type of story and I just continue with that kind of story, book after book after book, eventually I hit a slump and I don't find it interesting anymore because I've overdone it. So usually I prefer to pick up a book about this kind of topic, and then the next book it'll be a different kind of topic, and sometimes I will pick a couple of books in the same category just because I need more of that category, but usually then I start changing it up because that's just how I prefer to read. So 50 is my number for 2017. I want to read more books out of my bookshelves because at this point I have so many books that is giving me a little bit of anxiety when I look at all the books that I have piled up, all the books that I have on my bookshelves, books that I have on the floor. I have books everywhere and I love having all of these books, but at the same time they're putting a lot of pressure on me because I want to read all of those books. And I feel that although it's extremely tempting to go and purchase new books, I have to put a stop to that. I own enough books of my own at this point. So that's one of my goals for 2017, to pick up the books that I have on my bookshelves currently and try to get through those books. So I'm gonna try to limit my book buying to series that I am currently reading. If I read the last book that I possess on that series and I want to continue with that series, and that's about it. I'm gonna try to keep it at that so that I don't continue to purchase more and more books and end up getting overwhelmed again with the large amount of books I have to read and not enough time to read them. So that's one of my goals, to read my bookshelves. I would like to read more classics. I do own quite a few classics. I love collecting classics, but I find that I don't really read them as much because I find them very intimidating. Most of them have very teeny tiny writing, and the writing is different as well. Like the language in the classics tend to be different, and for someone like me where English is not my first language, I find that a little bit more challenging when it comes to reading it, because a lot of those words we don't use as much nowadays. So it takes me longer just because I have to research some words and learn them, which is a great thing, and that's why I want to read more classics, because I feel it'll be a fantastic way of expanding my vocabulary, which is something I've been wanting to do for a long time. So looking forward to doing that. I really want to get into my classics and find if they are something that I enjoy or not, because I feel that that's how classics are. Some people love and adore classics, and other people just can't really connect to that kind of writing anymore. So I'm anxious to find out where I sit on that scale. Now, I also want to finish reading the series that I've started. Last year I started reading a lot of series, and I've not finished any of them. So I'm really looking forward to finishing series that I'm currently reading, series that I've already started reading prior to picking up any new series. I want to finish as many series as I can, and of the ones that I'm currently reading, and then maybe later on, maybe next year, start picking up a new series again. And let's see, I want to record more book reviews, which is something that I was doing a lot of. I feel in 2015 when I first started, I was doing a lot of book reviews, because that's honestly what got me inspired into making my own booktube videos and channel, because I loved watching reviews. Every time I wanted to pick up a book and I wasn't so sure if I wanted to pick up that book or not, I would go onto YouTube and search for a review and kind of get an idea of what that book is going to have in store for me. So that is something that I really want to start doing more of during 2017, because it was really fun and I just kind of stopped doing it, and I'm not quite sure why I stopped doing it. I think it's because I was purchasing so many books and I was getting my hands on so many things I wanted to haul for you guys that I kind of concentrated on making hauls rather than reading and reviewing those books. So that's something I would like to change this year and go back to those roots. I also want to create a schedule. I got me this beautiful calendar that I think is going to be very helpful when it comes to organizing myself. I feel that 2016, although it was very fun and adventurous, I was not very organized with it, and I stumbled along the way. So this new year, I want to organize myself better, just get used to using my agenda and really plan out the weeks and just set up a schedule for me. I feel that I'm slowly but surely getting to that point at work where I can maybe have a set schedule. That would be so ideal. But once I get that set schedule at work, then I'm gonna try to plan my YouTube life the same way, so that I can have a more stable channel for you guys and upload videos more regularly for you and all that kind of stuff that I find super fun to do. So those are my goals for 2017. I try to keep it as simple as possible. Those are things that I've been wanting to do for a little while now, and now that I accomplished some goals last year, hopefully I can accomplish these goals this year as well. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below what your goals are for the new year and what was your most exciting accomplishment for last year. I look forward to reading your comments down below. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. It's a little bit different, a little chatty, but hopefully you enjoyed it. And I will see you very soon with another video. I'll be uploading soon my favorites of 2016 and my least favorites of 2016. Alright, see you next time. Bye!